Okay, so for this task, we're going to write some chord progressions as practice. And these chord progressions need to be 4 chords long, but the chords don't all need to be different, though you should have some that have 4 different chords, but you could have something that's like, say, 2 different chords, and then 1 chord repeats twice. Or there's, say, at the start there's a C, and then the next chord is F, then an E, then a C again. So that's 4 chords, but the first chord and the last chord were the same. Or you could have something where there's, say, 2 chords, but they both go twice, such as D to F, D to F. That'd be 2 chords going twice, or like this, could be, say, C, C, F, F. That's still 4 chords, but each one goes twice. A 4 chord progression with different chords might be C, F, G, E. That's 4 different chords. Whatever it happens to be, you need 4 chords in total, but some of them can be doubled or however you want to do that would be fine. Each chord needs to last 1 bar. Now what is a bar? This is a bar. If we look up here, we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and the distance between 1 to 2, that's 1 bar. This is bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4. We're going to get into the specifics of bars and beats in the future. For now, all you need to know is that this length from 1 to 2 is 1 bar. And you can see it's divided into smaller groups, 1 and then 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4, 2, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 3, and so on. These are called beats. So each bar has 4 beats in it. This is beat 1, beat 2, 3, 4, and then it starts on 2, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, and so on. So each chord needs to span 1 bar, and I'm going to demonstrate that in just a second. So let's say I'm going to use the piano roll to do this. First thing is I need an instrument. Now if you don't remember how to create an instrument, first you need to make a new session, right? So I've got a session here, a new project called Chords, a new song file. I'm going to go into Browse, in my Instruments folder, and I could just grab whatever. I could grab a Mai Tai or Presence like I've got, so let's grab another Presence and drag it over. So I just take it from the browser and drag it over here, and I get it here. I come up to where it says Default, and I can choose my sound. So I've got a piano sound, so I just went to Piano and then Acoustic Piano Full. And then this was the sound I was using. I can just delete this one because I've already got one created, but you can create one like that. Once you've got your instrument created, you double click on its track if you want to use the piano roll to write your chords, and you get a blank event. If I double click on this, it opens up the MIDI editor, and I can start putting in my chords as I did before. I can also, of course, play them in, and that's probably a better way to do it, but I'm going to show this way for now. So let's say I'm going to write my chord progression. Remember, we're in C major, and the chords are Ma, Mi, Mi, Ma, Ma, Mi, and I'm not going to use the dim for now, diminished. So I can see them here. Let's say I'm going to start on chord number 1, which is C. So I double click, and I know this is a Ma because of my pattern, Ma, Mi, Mi, Ma, Ma, Mi, dim. So a major chord is a +4, +3. So I take this and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and here's my major chord. Now looking up here, I see here's bar 1, and here's 4 beats, and here's bar 2. So I need to extend this to last all the way to bar 2. Now if I play it, there we go. I'm going to zoom out. Now I can see more bars at one time. So I've got my first chord set in there now. Now if I want to get another chord, I can come up to the top of my MIDI editor here, and I get this little marking. This means I can drag out the length of my event to encapsulate more bars. Another way to do that would be just to drag the event here and drag it over to the end of bar 4, which would be the start of bar 5. So that's 1 chord, 2 chords, 3 chords, and 4 chords. Now that I've got this, I can think, okay, well, now I'm going to build a chord off of, let's say, F. So I find my F note, which is here, and I add a note, and then I build my major chord because it's going to be Ma, Mi, Mi, Ma. So the F should be major as we follow our pattern there. And so I'm going to go, okay, here's 1, and I'm going to add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's F major. And I'm going to drag this out. Now it's a bar long as well. Now let's say I wanted to use G major as my next chord. Well, an easy way to do that would be, I've already got a major chord right here. I could push D, and we'll duplicate it, and then I just put it up to G, and I get a major chord. So here's C major, F major, and G major. Now how about for my last chord, I want E minor. So E minor would be the third chord because it's C, D, E, and it's a minor, ma, mi, mi. So I'm going to build a minor chord on the E. Now you can probably think of some creative ways to duplicate this and use it, but I'm just going to build it from scratch again. So I'm going to find my E note. If I look on my piano roll here on the grid, I can see here's 2 black lines, here's 3 black, 2 black, 3 black. Remember, if I have 2 black notes and I go to the left, which in this case is down because the piano is vertical like this. So here's black, and I go down. This is a C. So here's C, this is C sharp, D, D sharp, and E. So if I get this E, that's my first, and I know ma, mi, mi. This needs to be minor, right? So here's my root plus 3, 1, 2, 3, plus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is my E minor chord. And here's my chord progression. 4 chords, each bar long. Now I'm going to put a loop around this. If you remember how to do that, we just come up here and draw our loop in to encapsulate the whole section. And I'm going to push slash to turn my loop on. Now I push play. And there we go. I'm going to quickly make the same chord progression using my keyboard so you can see how to do that. I will delete this. Let's say I've got my chords here. I'm in a different octave. I'll put it down. Those are the chords, right? C major, F major, G major, E minor. Now all I'm going to do is turn on my metronome, which is here, turn on my pre-count, which gives me my 4 counts to come in. This might be already turned on, but you can just check. And then if I push record, I will play the chords, but only very briefly. So I'll show you what I mean. And now I can grab these, quantize them with Q, and then I can drag them out to be the proper length. And in fact, I can grab multiple ones at the same time, drag them, and if I hold Control or Command, they all become exactly the same length. And I can drag them out perfectly right to there. And then here's my whole chord progression. Same thing. So that's an example of how to build the chord progression using diatonic chords in the key of C major. And we need to make 5 of these for this task. So once you've got this complete, you can move your loop over to a new section, maybe starting from 6 and go 4 bars. So that would be 6 up to 10. And then I would come up with a new chord progression. And I would record that or draw that in or play it on my Chordie keyboard, however you want to do it, get it in there. And we want to make 5 different chord progressions just to practice making chords. Each chord needs to be a bar long. You need to have 4 chords, but some of the chords can be doubled if you want. And we need to use only the chords of C major, the diatonic chords of C major, those 6 chords that we looked at in the last lesson. If that's confusing, go back to the last lesson, watch it again, watch this one again, and see if you can understand some more. If you're still confused, definitely ask for help, and you'll be able to get to it in the end. It's a little bit confusing at first if you've never done this kind of thing, but this is like how a large chunk of songs are written, so it's important to be able to get a good grasp of how to do it. And in the end, you will understand if you get the help you need, and we want to make sure you get to that point. So that's all there is to the task. 5 chord progressions. Have fun, go for it, and I will see you in the next lesson.